Hello everyone, and welcome to the first of two Secret World instructional videos. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I ran into someone who asked me for help. Now, I assumed it was going to be help with a specific mission or something, but no. Dude straight up had no idea what shards were, or how to get them, or how to get marks of favour, so I figured I'm going to explain the basics in a video, just in case there's anyone else out there that needs help. Now, I'm in the starting area, which is Kingsmith. First off, I'll explain exactly what shards are. So, that's the shards there, and clicking on that brings up the wallet. You have your Aurum, your Marks of Favour, Anima Shards, Third Age Fragments, Cache Keys, Dungeon Keys, Scenario Keys, and Lair Keys. Now if you're just starting off, generally you're not going to have to worry about either of those because you have to be level 50 for those. And Cache Keys you only get if you're a patron, which you buy from clicking up there. Now Aurum is premium currency that you can get both by buying or for trading Marks of Favour on the auction house. Anima Shards are the main currency that you use for upgrading weapons and occasionally buying certain things. Now to get Anima Shards you have to do a mission. Now because I've already done this mission, it only gives 250 plus the bonus for being a patron, plus some experience. Now there's also several other ways to get Anima Shards, which is generally killing monsters, doing PvP, and selling loot you get from missions and PvP. Dungeons aren't really good for giving shards though, although they do give a decent amount of experience and some loot. PvP scales the amount of shards you get as you level up, so the higher you level the more shards you earn, up to about 1000 at level 50. I haven't done PvP for a while, so they might have adjusted that. Doing scenarios doesn't give you any other than the enemies you kill, but it does give quite a decent amount of glyph distillates. Now distillates are what you need to level up your gear by opening up the upgrade window. So you put something in there, you can either put, say, another item, if it's matching, so a occult talisman for attack rating is what that is. If you fuse that with another one, for example this one, it's got a blue border showing that it gives a bonus 2.5 times experience. So it's generally better to combine matching items. It's the same with signets and glyphs as well. Glyphs and signets both cap out at level 20 regardless of whether or not they're green, blue, purple, yellow or red, whereas weapons and talismans go 20 at green, 25 at blue, 30 at purple, 35 at yellow, and I think it was 70 at red. And those are gadgets. You can't power gadgets up and you can't combine them with other gadgets currently. They might change that, they might not, but as it stands there's no way to strengthen them short of signets. I've got a signet that boosts gadget damage by almost 30%. As for Marks of Favour, in order to get those, you need to do daily challenges. Kill 50 monsters, 3 main missions, 3 side missions, 4 item empowerments, and then doing all the other daily challenges in that list. That'll open up 5 more once you do all of those, which is essentially the exact same thing as here, but it's 100 monster kills, 5 main, 5 side, I think it was 6 item empowerments, and the daily challenges again. Now per day, if you're a standard user, you can only get 10,000. Now if you're a patron, you're able to get, I think it was 12,000, because of a 10% bonus. 20% bonus. Yes, those are the patron bonuses, and that's how much it costs in US dollars. Now the caches, those drop once you start hitting level 15, and they generally drop some quite useful stuff. The distillates can give between 4,000 and 25,000 experience points. They'll always give you third age fragments. They'll give you either a full outfit or a part of an outfit. Then they'll also give mounts, pets, blue weapons, which are Mark II, and Mark III weapons, which are really good and gain more item power at a faster rate than any 3-dot weapons you get from anywhere else. Now, to open them you need cache keys, which you can either buy for 150 aurum a piece. There's no benefit to buying in bulk either, which is different. As a patron, you get 1 a day, so that equates to about 30 keys, which is actually quite good value considering 30 keys is maybe about 4,000 aurum. So you'd need to spend pretty much $30, no, $40 actually, to afford that. Patron is only $13 and gets you a whole lot more. Now, this person that I mentioned at the start of the video, he wasn't too sure how to find out where he was either. So, if anyone ever asks where you are, you just hit the M button to bring up your map, and down here it tells you where you are. I'm currently in Kingsmouth, which is the zone that I'm in. The map shows you where pretty much all missions that you can do are. Now, when you start off, your map won't have anywhere near as much as me. You'll probably only have those missions around there showing up, because there's a level requirement for those levels. And if you're outside the minimum requirement, it just won't show up on the map. Which is to avoid people from biting off more than they can chew. Now, the reason these zombies aren't attacking me is because, unlike the Secret World, when they rebooted the game as Secret World Legends, they added a little feature that once you're 10 levels higher, then whatever enemies are around, they won't attack you. I think these fresh zombies here don't attack you in general either. It definitely makes questing in the lower areas easier. You just don't have to worry about enemies just getting in your way slightly. On the topic of missions that I had mentioned earlier, you can take a dungeon mission, a main mission, an investigation mission, and 3 side missions. And that's a story mission. You can't remove that, you can't pause it or anything. It'll always be there. It'll change, obviously, as you progress through the game, and will often tell you what you need to do to be able to get further in the game. Side missions are also a decent source of anima shards. Now, the further in through the game you get, the more anima shards and experience points you'll get from doing missions. There is also a daily login reward system, which you do by clicking on there. There's normally a claim button there, but I've already claimed today's daily login reward, which resets in 5 hours and 12 minutes. Should mention the auction house quickly. You probably won't use it too much at the start, but this is where you go to sell stuff. You can sell 10 items a day, but if you're a patron you can sell as much as you want every day, as long as you've got a slot available down here, which you get 10 of. An exchange is where you exchange marks of favour for aurum. Marks of Favour, like I mentioned, you get just by playing the game. And Aurum, normally you have to pay real money. So currently I only have 1,730 marks. So people are selling 1 mark for 164. I mean, 1 Aurum for 164 marks. So if I buy 10, I'd be able to afford 10, but that's it. That's just because currently the price has gone up from where it used to be. And then there's the postal service, which players can send you mail, which they usually don't. And every time you buy or sell, you'll get a message in there as well. If you sell something, there'll be Aurum attached, and if you buy something, it'll just show up down there. Take all, delete all, and delete self-explanatory as well. As for abilities, every single weapon, so blade, hammer, fist, blood, chaos, elementalism, shotgun, pistol, and assault rifle all have 3 separate rows of abilities. Once you unlock all the abilities in each row, you can then start putting points into the capstone. You will hit a limit as to how many capstone upgrades you can get, that you increase by unlocking the capstone in even more weapons. And there's also the passives, which are broken up into 5 lines. Now, these little straight stat boosts, they work whether or not you've got that weapon equipped. So, as you unlock more of the circular passives, you'll become stronger overall. Even if you don't have, say, shotgun equipped, I still get the attack rating and the evade rating and stuff. These passives that are square only work usually with specific abilities. Some just work with the weapon itself. Those only work when you've got the weapon on. You can only use active abilities if you've got the weapon equipped. There's no way you'd be able to use shotgun abilities with a fist weapon. Then you've got the build manager where you can save and load builds, which definitely helps. Now, as for active abilities, the active abilities with the white text are your basic abilities that don't use any of your weapon energy to cast. So they're what you use when the bar associated with the weapon is at 0. Now, primary weapon regens every 1 second, secondary every 2 seconds, and for both weapons, critical hits generate 1 energy. As you use a weapon, you'll get experience tied to that weapon, which will boost your crit chance and damage with that weapon as well, up to level 50. Then there's red text abilities, which are your main damage dealing abilities that will use up your energy and have the usually 1 second cooldown that most abilities have, and those are quite good. They are what you'll usually have in your ability bar down here. You have 6 abilities and 5 passives, because primary white text abilities generally don't have passives tied to them. I can't say they definitely don't, because I haven't looked at every single passive for every ability yet, because I haven't unlocked everything. Then there's blue text abilities. They generally do a bit more of a special effect than the red text ones, but they also have a 20-second cooldown, which can make them useful. It depends on what kind of build you want, but they also have useful effects. And then there's elite abilities. Now, elite abilities can only have 1 of equipped at a time, and also I can't have Ice Beam, Blizzard, and Overload equipped, and I can't have elite abilities from my secondary weapon as well as my primary weapon equipped either. Those are supposed to have a 20-second cooldown. I've just got a signet that reduces that. But those are your most powerful abilities. They generally do quite a bit of damage and cost 4 elementalism energy to cast if they're elementalism. If they're pistol, they'll cost 4 pistol energy. Yes, they are always important to have. If you have an elite ability, you should equip it. Naturally, AoEs do less damage to a single target than single target abilities, but they have the additional bonus of doing that damage to everything in the AoE, well, up to 6 enemies. I think I've managed to cover the basics, though you can Animal Leap, which, as you progress further in the game, will cost slightly more shards to use, or free if you're patron, but that allows you to get around quickly. And you can teleport between zones, which usually costs you as well, but patrons also get that for free. I've seen people complain about there being a paywall. It's not so much a paywall, it's more pay for some convenience. You can get everything in the game just by playing for free that someone paying money can get. It might take a little bit longer, but I mean, if you're working 40 hours a week and you still want to be able to play the game and get through the story, you might spend a couple of dollars here and there to catch up to everyone who has more time than you to play. Missions also give you reward bags. The further through the game you get, the more reward bags you get per mission. Other than signets, all the loot drops from there. So, it's talisman, weapon, and glyph reward bags. There's also champion monsters which are marked on the map with a skull until you've defeated them the first time, and those drop a bag that has a chance to give a gadget. Elite onwards for dungeons also have a chance to drop gadgets, and once you get to Tokyo, side missions will drop keys for some shipping crates that spawn at an enemy that's a little bit tougher than all the other ones that you have to kill, that can also give you a gadget, which is where I got the red fan from. Now, hopefully you find this video useful, and I will probably make another one in a week or so that goes into some more complex stuff, assuming that there's anything that I didn't cover in here that people still would like to know. So if there's anything I didn't explain or you'd like some more explanation on, feel free to mention that in the comments and I'll do a follow-up video. I hope you all had a lovely day, and I shall see you all in my next video. Farewell.